Hello everyone, my name is Injured Waffles, and today I'm here to give you my review of the PC version of Dead Cells, a roguelike Metroidvania side-scrolling action-adventure game by Motion Twin, released on August 7th, 2018 for Xbox One, PC, PS4, and Switch, after having been in early access on Steam for over a year. In this game, you take control of a nameless prisoner who has the unfortunate ability to not stay dead, while you try to escape an island full of enemies who will be more than glad to make you dead. As you hack and slash your way through multiple playthroughs, you learn more secrets, collect more cells, get better at the game, and have a deeper understanding of just how much punishment one blob can take. This game is an interesting take on the 2D roguelike genre, and I'm very happy that this game was one of the few that made it out of early access in a respectable time frame. But has that year spent in early access made this a game worth buying? Or is it just a lesson in frustration that will break your soul? Let's dive into this review and find out. And guys, if you enjoyed this review, definitely make sure to drop a like. And so guys, of course we start with the story. And in this story, you take control of a silent prisoner who has been experimented on and then executed, and are now a green blob creature that can take control of conveniently placed bodies every time you die. And you're trying to escape an island that you're imprisoned on. Now the story is mostly told through the background as you try to piece together everything that is happening. Interactions with NPCs don't tell you much of what's going on, but does help to shed some light on the situation that you are in. Now, I've always liked the element of being able to figure out these stories on your own, and this game definitely takes a Dark Souls approach to telling a story. Everything going on is mysterious, and is conveyed to the player through scraps of letters on a desk, or carved into a wall in a prison cell, or through various other forms throughout the game world. Now, the story is definitely nothing to rave about, guys, but it does help you to give a reason why you want to keep moving forward. And I do like this aspect of the game. I mean, the story doesn't always need to be in your face, and that's a good thing. Moving on to the gameplay. Now, the game is a procedurally generated roguelike game, with the map changing every time that you die, causing each run to be different than the last. Which of course means that you get different weapons, different power-ups, enemy placements will be different, and just pretty much everything is different. Now, the loot system in this game, guys, is deep and diverse. There is a lot of things to collect in this game, and you will not be hurting for something to find in this game as well. Certain upgrades do carry over with you through each playthrough, and upgrades that you buy using the rare currency of Dead Cells. I like the fact that through each playthrough, you get stronger, and it's not just always starting back at square one being base level weak, and it gives you a nice sense of progression as well. You can also buy weapons, equipment, reroll stats on your items using the gold currency that you lose when you die. During each playthrough, there are also scrolls that you can pick up that help to upgrade the damage that you deal with certain weapon color types, as well as increasing your HP. And of course, you do lose these also as well when you die. Now, the big thing that this game has going for it is the absolutely amazing combat system. Guys, this combat system is so much fun. Combat in the game is fast and fluid. Every hit feels solid and weighty. And your character is incredibly responsive to button presses, which is super important when it comes to pressing the attack, jumping around, and to dodging the enemy attacks. And of course, the dodging mechanic in the game is what it is. It allows you to dodge enemy attacks, as well as to do things like reposition yourself behind the enemy, and can also be used during the platforming. Now, the weapons and equipment in this game, like I said, are varied and unique, with your character having 2 weapon slots and 2 equipment slots, and each weapon style having a certain color to it. This allows you to have different builds and playstyles, and due to the roguelike nature of the game, you'll always be experimenting to find that special build. Amazing combat, guys. Absolutely the best part of this game, bar none. And another big element of this game is the difficulty level. This game is hard, but in a fair and fun way. You never feel like the game is cheating you in most of your deaths. There are certain times where I did feel like things were out of my control when I died, though these were very, very few and far between. Enemy variation is nice as well, and they all scale appropriately when you reach new areas. The one thing that might be difficult to swallow is the fact that there are no checkpoint system though. The game is permadeath and will throw you back to the beginning when you die. Now, that's not a bad thing though, because this allows you to work with the new upgrades that you can carry over from previous playthroughs, and it never really does take long to get back to where you died either, usually taking about 10, 15, 20 minutes. The game is hard, but not impossible, and this difficulty made me want to keep trying until I was able to go farther, and every time I did go farther, it was incredibly satisfying. And guys, the combat is fair. the game is fair. And so to move on to the graphics, guys, and the graphics for Dead Cells are a big win here. Going for a 2D pixelated look, in my opinion, was a very good idea. The game's also incredibly colorful, and it looks really nice. Everything just pops out on screen, especially characters and enemies that move. But it's also how smooth and fluid every animation is what really brings this game together, guys, and brings it to a higher level. Your character is immensely fast, once again also fluid, but you never lose sight of him easily. Enemy models are incredibly detailed, and it's easy to distinctly tell which one you are fighting, mostly because Motion Twin was smart and made them different colors and also different sizes. Sometimes, however, the visual clutter on screen becomes difficult to handle, especially when you're fighting a lot of enemies, throwing grenades, laying down traps. It's easy to get lost in all of the particle effects and bolts of energy and everything flying around. Now, the areas that you go through in each game, or in the game, are all unique. Each area feels you different from the last, and usually adding in newer enemies, newer traps, and newer obstacles to deal with. The sense of progression that you get and the excitement of finally being able to reach a new area and take in the new sights is always fun and amazing. They also have some breathtaking spectacles. Now, friendly NPC models in the game do look good, and once again, the diversity here also really helps to distinguish between which NPC does what. And also, the character model that you play as well, guys, looks very good. He looks very distinct. You can never lose, you don't really lose sight of him easily, except for, like I said, when the visual clutter starts coming in. But he is very easily distinguishable from everyone else on the screen. Now, having played this game on PC, guys, had to say though, very disappointed in the lack of graphics options here, guys. The few choices that were available were full screen options, turning on off VSync, bright flashes, or pixelated font. No choices for resolution or anything of the sort of options that you would see in a PC game. I wish there was at least something more there. Now, that's not to detract though. The game is absolutely beautiful, but it never hurts to be able to give players more options. And a quick note on the performance, guys, the game ran flawlessly on my rig, which with a 1080 Ti and an i7 8770K. The game was locked at 444 FPS at 1440p, and I didn't experience any drops from that frame rate. The game ran buttery smooth. No complaints here from me at all. And so to complete the trifecta of awesomeness, guys, the audio here is also amazing. Running along filthy cobblestones while bursting through a door and hearing the wood and splinters fly everywhere, and then smacking the hell out of things that want to rip your head off, it all sounds great. When you hit an enemy, not only does it feel solid, but the audio also gives the right impact noises, especially when you're using different weapons. Freeze blasts sound icy and cold. Swords and daggers slice through the air. Hammers are weighty and sound heavy. And the soundtrack is just so amazingly good in this game, guys. I love the different instruments that they have playing with a sort of Nordic vibe that I got out of it. It feels appropriate for the kind of journey that your character is on, one of strife and hardship and loneliness. Really awesome and amazing soundtrack, guys. I really dig it. It was always awesome to hear it throughout the multiple playthroughs that I had. And as for voice acting, guys, not really much to say here. All dialogue is spoken through text, and any noises that come out of the friendly NPCs are mostly just grunts. Nothing really to say here though, guys. And so to wrap up this review, this is an absolute blast and a gem of a game. The amount of content that Motion Twin was able to stuff into Dead Cells will satisfy fans of the genre for hours on end. The gorgeous graphics, tied in with the absolutely amazing fluid combat system, a deep and diverse looting system, enough secrets to make the CIA jealous, and a beautiful soundtrack really helps to bring this together in a way that I can easily recommend Dead Cells to anyone. I'm going to be giving this game a 9 out of 10, guys, and at the low price of $24.99, I can easily recommend this to anyone who is interested or has been on the fence about this game. Guys, I hope that we all enjoyed this review. As always, guys, I do enjoy any constructive criticism on how I can make these reviews better for you. My name is Injured Waffles, and I will see all of you on the next review. Goodbye.